sense, but I have concerns about waking it.
Yeah, you've said that a few times now.
A normal Krogan is dangerous. This one was created and likely educated by a madman.
Does seem as though Miranda is not terribly excited about that. I mean, he is sealed in a tank right now, so I don't exactly think that it is an imminent threat right now, this new Krogan we've brought on board.
There's no way he's getting out unless one of us lets him out.
Or unless Okeer installed some sort of failsafe. Or a malfunction causes the tank to shut down.
I mean, okay, sure, it's possible. We don't know if that's the case.
I'm not saying we take a crowbar to it right now, but I'm not giving up a potential resource.
It's your decision, Commander. Just be careful.
Noted. The cargo hold is safe enough while I decide what to do with them.
Jacob's like, I don't know. Alright, so, let's take a look at our journal here. We got some Paragon points for that conversation as well. And there's just the updates of those research items that we picked up during our previous mission. So, Dr. Okeer's legacy. Okeer is dead, and again, Okeer was the person who we originally were planning to recruit, but his genetically engineered Krogan soldier remains preserved in his grow tank. Decide whether to open the grow tank of the Krogan super soldier aboard the Normandy. So, as Miranda was just saying, and suppose Morden was saying a little bit earlier as well, you know, it's perhaps a little risky to get this random tank-bred Krogan to suddenly, to release him, when Krogan in general tend to be on the violent side, and also, this one was, you know, perhaps bred with the specific purpose to be a killing machine, so that might be even more of a reason to be particularly cautious about, you know, do we release him or not? But that is something that we will think about in the future. Let's head on out here. And, I mean, we now have a few more credits, a few more resources to work with here. Just take a look and see if there's anything that is immediately good option for us. I mean, we do already have the platinum to get this sniper rifle damage upgrade, so might not be a bad idea. Let's go for it. And then there's a non-zero chance that we may have had an additional sniper rifle upgrade that we were waiting to do because we were not yet able to use it until we got a sniper rifle damage upgrade, such as this. Let's see. Increases damage by 50% against armor. Improved sniper rifles for the entire squad. So, turns sniper rifles into a great anti-armor weapon. So, I mean, 50% damage is, of course, a lot. And we got this for shotguns. Just in the case of shotguns, it was 50% damage against shields. So, in some ways, shotguns have become our specialized anti-shield weapons, whereas this would make snipers our specialized anti-armor weapons. So, that's an intriguing option. I mean, it's a little bit expensive when it comes to the platinum. So, I mean, we do have a decent sum of platinum at the moment, but, you know, getting something like the shotgun extra rounds would probably be preferable. And,
welcome.
And, you know, these other things down here, like sniper headshot damage, let's see. Need one more sniper rifle damage upgrade before that becomes possible. Does this qualify as a damage upgrade? It might. 50% headshot damage is a lot. Again, doesn't work for us. I actually don't know. Can our squad mates technically, I mean, like, they must occasionally get headshots, right? But, you know, to what extent are they using pinpoint accuracy to get people right in the head, especially with a sniper where it's probably more feasible to do that? You know, is this just something that on paper gives us 50% damage, but in practice, in reality, they're never actually going to get the headshots, in which case it's more or less useless? I don't know. That seems like that could be possible. But if they are just amazing headshot snipers, then maybe it turns out this is amazing. So let's not commit to it just yet, just in case there are other things that we'd prefer to do. Other ways we prefer to spend that platinum instead. Like our prototypes. Scan the armor, I think for the most part, not really looking to do that right now. Okay. Alright, so, let's chat a bit with our teammates, see if they have any thoughts on our previous mission in which we, well, didn't recruit Okir, but did pick up a package that included his legacy, so to speak.
Shepard, how can I help?
Have you got a minute to talk?
Perhaps later. Trying to determine how Scale Itch got onto Normandy. Sexually transmitted disease only carried by Varen. Implications unpleasant.
Oh, man. Oh, alright then. Yeah, maybe we don't ask too many questions in that case, although could ask a little bit about the squad. See if, now that we've gone a little bit further, if he has any thoughts on that front.
Are there any medical concerns I should be aware of on the team?
Cerberus personnel in excellent condition. No squad concerns to report. Always some matters, but nothing affecting immediate mission.
Yeah, besides that,
I'll let you work.
that
Well,
other
here, if you need me.
disease you were speaking about moments ago, which, you know, not really sure we want to be diving into the details there. Let's see, now I'm looking for, not the comm room, looking for Jacob's room, see if he has anything. Any thoughts?
Commander.
Previous mission?
Can I help you with something?
Let's see.
How are we doing, Jacob? What's your sense of the mission?
If Morden's modifications hold up, we've got a shot. If they don't, we're dead. Seems like that was always a strong possibility, though. Anything else, Commander?
Has he always specified Morden's modifications? I thought in the past he was saying something like ship upgrades. But, let's see. What about you, more specifically?
I'm more interested in just talking for a bit.
If you want, Commander. Cerberus has ranks, but it's not the Alliance. No rules about fraternization. Your boat, your call. You want to get friendly with everyone? That's your business.
Relax, Jacob. I'm just interested in what makes you tick.
Yeah.
Anyone
Don't
else
think
said
he
that,
opened
I'd
up
walk
like this
away.
before.
Most Cerberus people try to play like the elusive man, hiding bullshit behind a smile. But you? I like what I've seen. I'll give you a shot. What do you want to know?
Alright, we're getting somewhere. See any family?
Anyone waiting for you back home?
Only child and no extended family. Never settled down. Didn't seem fair with this job. But you can't miss what you never had.
I mean, I was gonna say, and he was a little cold at the beginning. Seemed like he was not so keen on opening up like this, so I don't know if I'd go as far as to say he's quick to trust us.
You seem okay with taking a risk on me. Why?
Soldiers like us know how important trust is to the crew. I'm not used to seeing it on a Cerberus ship. Definitely not from people they put in command. But you focus on more than the job. A threat this big, you can't just throw people at it blind. They need inspiration.
Okay. True, but at the same time, you know, we are still talking about people. At least in our case, human beings and Solarians and what have you. But, you know, the job isn't necessarily everything.
There's a lot riding on this, but we can't give up everything.
Not always a choice we get to make. Good to try, though. I gave it my best back in the Alliance. Got labeled a troublemaker. They were always on the lookout for disruptive types. Cerberus isn't any better. They just put more effort into hiding how much they spy on you.
Okay, well, I guess we have nothing to hide.
Let them watch. We're not hiding anything.
Wouldn't matter if we were. It's not like they can reel us in. We're handling this, whether they like it or not. Anyway, I should get back to prep. Nice talking to you, Shepard. Let's do it again sometime.
Alright. It's a little bit more from Jacob there. Let's see if there is anyone else who has thoughts, either on our most recent mission or just generally thoughts on life. Oh, let's check with Kelly. Might have messages for us or what have you.
No messages for you, Commander.
Really? I'm actually kind of surprised after having done a big quest like that. See, on Joker's side,
So, Hadley, how you gonna spend your next furlough?
You really think we'll have another shore leave?
Of course, Shepard's forming the best team this galaxy has ever seen. We're gonna kick some ass.
I'm sure you're right, Matthews.
hey, at least he's optimistic, enthusiastic. You like to see it. Joker?
Commander,
Anything new from you?
I assume everything is going well up here?
Shh.
What?
I can tell when it's listening.
I am always listening, Mr. Moreau.
Oh man, that doesn't help. Okay.
That's it for now.
See you, Commander.
Good stuff. Good stuff, Joker. Okay. In that case, let's head down to other parts of the ship and check in with the crew a bit more. Let's see. So, don't think we have much to do in the cabin, but say crew's quarters we may. Okay, so got the general public area.
I lost contact with New Canton. Might be the collectors.
Did your family get out of there?
I don't know. There's no communications yet.
I'm sure they're safe. You'll see.
Not sure. There's a non-zero chance we've heard about that before. Let's see. Still no one or nothing in the starboard observation deck there. As for the port side, this is where Kasumi is hanging out.
Hey, got a minute?
I suppose so.
Not a lot of people go in and out of Dr. Chakwa's office, other than to get medical attention, I mean. It seems like it'd be lonely, surrounded by people who never knew the ship you both served on. I'd be reaching for the brandy, too.
She knows Dr. Chakwas wants the brandy.
Gabby and Ken would make a great couple. I just doubt they'll ever realize it.
The engineers downstairs, the ones that we kind of sort of played, what was it? Not really poker, but some different version of a gambling card game, I think. It actually won some credits doing so. And, you know, they seem to have some interesting chemistry. You know, they seem to work well together.
The Normandy runs so quietly. I'm not used to hearing my footsteps when I walk.
Says the Master Thief.
Come back later. I'm sure I'll have more to talk about.
Okay, so that's Kasumi. See, well, that's the restroom, as it turns out. Think we don't need to check in there. We're probably fine in that regard. Alright, we've got Miranda over here, though. Anything new from her?
Commander, what can I do for you?
You have a minute, Miranda?
There's a lot to do, Shepard. Maybe another time.
Okay. In that case, I think we're probably good here. I forget, is Normandy status quite literally getting her thoughts on the ship itself? Or does that include more generally the ship and the people on the ship? Which is, as we're doing these recruitment missions, changing somewhat frequently.
Anything I should know regarding the Normandy?
The crew's working well, and the ship appears to be performing to specifications.
Alright.
I'll let you work.
Of course, Commander.
Let's see, so that's Miranda. Not much new from her.
Rupert put the new supplies to good use.
Oh, look at that. Rupert, the cook, slash everything, that we gave the additional cooking materials, ingredients to. We heard some chat about this a while back, and then now they're actually appreciative of us having done that, so that's good to see. Okay, I think that's just about it on the crew deck, to tell you the truth. Don't expect for us to have much new from Dr. Chakwas. Sorry, Kasumi, you're right. Not too many people going in there for anything other than medical treatment. Then in engineering, see about this. So, this is the spot where we've got the breeding pod, fresh from our most recent mission. So, is there anything else in here? This room is, of course, now new to us. In fact, is there even a place where Edie talks to us about this place? There may not be. So we can choose to activate it or not. And so this is interesting because, well, you have the choice of activating this whenever you want. And in fact, you could even choose never to activate it. And while there's, let's just say there are some inside baseball, some inside tricks as to when and where exactly you might want to activate this breeding pod. And you could certainly make the case that, hey, we just picked up Okeer's quote-unquote legacy. Let's go see what this is all about, this Krogan guy. There's something to be said for that, but I am deliberately going to hold off a bit, specifically for some more complex domino effects that will happen later on that I won't talk about specifically right now for the sake of saving what would otherwise be some spoilerish materials. But let's just say that there's some very complicated reasons why later on in the game it is actually potentially a little bit beneficial to wait to do so before we activate that pod. But of course, it's relatively minor, so if you're playing along with us, then you are welcome to activate that pod as soon as you'd like. Let's see if there's anything new from Zaid.
Back for another lesson.
I suppose so.
Ever been to a Batarian prison? They don't trust you enough to sell you into slavery. That's where they send you. In there you got two choices. Bash your head open on the wall, or kill everyone between you and the exit.
Why do I feel like you did the latter?
I knew this girl once, Asari. Good head on her shoulders. We had this whole thing going, until she sold me out to the Blood Pack.
Oh.
Put a sour note on the relationship.
I bet it did. Bet it did.
I should let you go. Talk more later, Shepard.
Okay, that seems to be all from Zaid in that case. Keep the area clean. I mean, sure, Zaid's put some of his stuff down here, but it's not crazy dirty. I mean, it's a little dirty over here, but this is where the garbage compactor is, so I think we can give him a pass there. Then let's see. Other than that, we head down here. Remember, this is where Jack is hanging out. There you are.
Hey.
We had the chance to talk to you about really anything yet? I don't think so. We went down here after we first recruited her, yes. But, she was, you know, a little bit, not in a chatty mood, let's just say. So, let's see if we can get anything else out of Jack here.
What do you think of Miranda and Jacob?
Jacob doesn't know who he is, but that's not my problem. Miranda's a Cerberus bitch. Knew that before she opened her mouth.
Oh? Okay. What about the state of the mission?
What do you think of our mission?
I don't care. I'm out to survive it, then cut loose.
I mean, at least she's honest. What about potential upgrades?
I picked up a lot of resources. Can you use them to help against the collectors?
I ran across the schematics for making L5X implants. Still got them in my head. You want to know what I need? Not usually my thing, but I've learned how to get things done on my own.
Interesting. Okay. Some biotic implants, perhaps? Let's see. Subject 0 biotic boost. Jack gets plus 25% biotic damage. Jack's vital signs show progressive neural degeneration, which would normally decrease her potential ability to generate Mass Effect fields. Instead, her ability appears to be increasing. Replacing the power module in her bioimp, the higher capacity prototype module would dramatically increase the strength of Jack's biotics. So this also costs element 0, and that is generally tough to get, although we do have a decent amount of it at the moment, so we could do this. Although, I mean, for the most part, we have not really been using Jack all that often, and that's probably not gonna change much, at least until we get access to her warp ammo ability, because until we get that, she's not providing much that we can't already do ourselves. So,
Let me know if you want me to make those implants.
definitely interesting, and we may opt to do it eventually. I just don't think it's a terribly high priority at this stage, so let's hold on to our element 0 in case we find something that seems like it is more immediately beneficial. Let's see. Other than that, what about just a general talk?
Tell me about you, Jack. What are you up to?
Still checking out your ship. Wouldn't mind putting her through her paces when you're not around.
Saying you want to steal our ship?
I doubt Joker would appreciate that. At least not while we're working.
Relax. Joyriding doesn't have the thrill it used to. Besides, if I wanted it, I'd take it.
That's so.
I've been around. Ran with gangs, wiped out some gangs, joined a cult. Kept the haircut. I learned how to survive and not be a victim.
I mean, interesting. I guess tell us about the cult you joined?
It's hard to imagine you in a cult. That usually involves a lot of rules.
I was looking for answers. Drugs and sex and going to a better place. A better place, right. It was all about money. They wanted to take a colony, shake the suckers down to fund their spread, and guess who was their ace in the hole? They were just like the rest. Didn't give one shit about me.
Okay, well, what happened to them?
What did you do when you found out?
What do you think?
I mean, you probably... I would say brutally murdered them. Yeah, brutally, I guess. Not sure if, like, yeah, smashing people into stuff with biotic powers, that definitely counts as brutally murdering them. So yeah, that's probably what you did. So it does seem like you kind of have a thing where you don't really trust anyone and you kind of just want to be enemies with everyone.
You must have met some good people, too.
Everybody wants something, and because of that, everything is fair game. Murder, assault, kidnapping, drugs, stealing, arson, done it all. And that's the boring shit. Piracy, theft of military craft, destruction of a space station, and vandalism. That was a good one.
Okay, well, we can ask for more details there. Theft of military craft?
Military's a hard target. Bet that made you some friends.
Shouldn't have left the thing unlocked. Besides, parades are boring. I helped.
Okay. Destruction of a space station? That sounds like a pretty big deal.
A space station. You're pushing what I can believe.
Ain't saying it was easy. Not everything is spur of the moment. Sometimes you gotta work to give people what they deserve.
Oh.
Had some people I hung with for a while. Outlaw colony. Felt like they were like me. Guess that made us a nice target. Turians think they know something about a scorched earth response. Fuck 'em.
Okay. To be honest, comparatively speaking, piracy seems quite minor relative to these other things.
You were a pirate, too?
Ties in with the kidnapping. If
Oh,
you
okay,
hijack
we're not
a
talking like
passenger
online
ship and
piracy,
kill
we're talking about
everyone.
actually being a pirate.
Good lesson. Simpler to just kill them all.
A space pirate. And vandalism, this one also feels like comparatively much minor. Much more... Why can I not say the word minor? Much less significant.
I'm surprised you'd even mention vandalism with that bunch.
That's what the Hanar call it when you crash that space station I mentioned into one of their moons and make a new crater.
Oh.
You really liked that moon.
Okay, so that kind of vandalism. I see. It does seem like you're looking back on these memories fondly, and, they are, in some cases, pretty terrible crimes.
Do you ever wonder if you could have done things differently?
No.
Shouldn't you?
There's no reason I should be alive, but I am. You know why? Instinct. It's worked for me so far, and I'm not gonna change. Hey, Shepard. No one's ever asked me about this shit. It's strange to talk about. So fuck you. And thanks for asking.
Oh, thanks, Jack. Glad to chat. Glad to chat. Okay. Good stuff. Let's see. So, in this case, we've chatted with Jack.
Rupert is actually cooking some good meals lately.
Yeah, right. That scunner couldn't serve a good haggis if his life depended on it.
But all haggis tastes like ass anyway.
Aye, but in the right hands, it could taste like mighty fine ass.
Spoken like a true Scot. No, so these are the two. That's, who was it? Kasumi was saying would make a good couple, although was just doubting as to whether they would actually realize that they might want to, explore that potential option. Let's see. Anyone else we want to check in with? Is this where we're talking to Zaid? Yeah. And then what was the other side? Is that where we were looking at the Krogan who is currently in the tank? Yes. Okay. So as I was saying, I think we're gonna wait to open that up for potentially quite a bit. Let's head on up. And I think we're heading back to the Combat Information Center. And...
no messages for you,
okay,
Commander.
no new messages. Let's take a look at our journal here. Because when it comes to the main quest options here, there is the question of the pod, but we were just talking about that. We have Archangel, which we were deliberately trying to do this last relative to the other recruitment missions. So, of course, by definition, what would it be? The last of the recruitment missions. That's going to be the next recruitment mission that we do. But we do have also Kasumi's loyalty mission, Zaid's loyalty mission. So those are things that we might opt to do before that, to tell you the truth. In terms of side quests, let's look here. We have Overlord, which is listed as new. Have we not seen this before? A Cerberus station on the planet Ite, Typhon System, Phoenix Massing, has gone off the grid. The elusive man has requested assistance investigating the situation. Let's travel to this place and investigate why Cerberus base there has gone silent. That's Overlord. Then we have Firewalker, Rosalie Lost, travel to Ziona, and search for the Hammerhead prototype vehicle and any signs of Doctor's Case and Oloy. So these, I think we were at least mentioning previously that they are DLC missions, and so I was thinking we might be looking to do one of those soon. And we still have the Smuggling Depot, but I think we're going to want to wait on this one. This was the one that had the 3 mechs, the big mechs that were destroying all the crates that we were saying we'd like to come back with more of a plan there and more firepower so that we can take them out quickly and, in doing so, get a better reward from completing that mission. So I'm thinking next on our list may be Firewalker here. So let's take a look. This is the Illista Ismar Frontier. Okay. It should, I believe, show up on our map when we open it up here. Let's see. And, well, we are definitely going to be leaving this system here. Let's just take a quick look. Doing fine from a fuel standpoint, from a probe standpoint. I want to pick up you here. And let's head on out. Let's take a look. So, the one we were thinking of is over here, in the Ismar Frontier. The Firewalker MSV Rosalie, as well as Zaid's loyalty mission, also in this area, although that, I mean, could be something we do soon, though I don't think that's next on our list per se. This is kind of interesting, just looking at the shape of the Milky Way. Like, this is way out on the edge of this little arm going out here. So, I mean, it is, like, practically not even in the galaxy anymore at this point. Let's enter the system. Okay, so it looks like Firewalker is over in that direction there in a different system. Zaid's loyalty mission over here in that system. And, well, we may not know of anything in this system, so why don't we take a look around here a bit. So we've got this planet here, which is Polino, a relatively small hydrogen-helium gas giant. Polino remains undeveloped, while its sister planet, Meta Ponto, garners all the attention. This was not always the case. In 2180, news stories seeded throughout the extranet claimed that Element Zero was being found on Polino's moons in record loads. Say moons? Are we still going to find Element Zero in significant amounts if we scan the planet directly? This turned out to be a scam, okay, so probably not, spread by the Dunawara Chum Consortium, an Elcor corporation, trying to scare up investors. Scare up investors? What? After a small fleet of space probes scouted the area, the hype quickly deflated, and the myth only persists now in unwanted extranet email messages. Alright, well, let's scan it and see. Well, it has poor resources, so it is definitely a scam in that case. I'm curious to see if there happens to be any Element Zero at all. That's actually, I mean, it's still not good, but it's not like non-existent. Don't think there's any elements here at all, though. Like, look at that. That's something. That is something. But yeah. No thank you. Alright, next one out is this one here. Metaponso, the one we were hearing about previously. A hydrogen-helium gas giant, Metaponso has developed a helium-3 fueling station funded by Elcor business interests who hope to bring enough attention to the system to attract terraforming investors and thus eventually develop Volturno as a habitable world. Thus far, they have met with little success. So it does seem like we're hearing a lot about the Elcor here. In the past, with other systems we've explored, we've kind of seen this, where, generally speaking, we have a system in which we're hearing most about one specific species, and I think that is a nice touch in that it feels much more, you know, like a real living world when, hey, this area of the galaxy is a place where this species, you know, maybe it's close to their home world, but they're trying to expand into it, and so, you know, you hear about, well, this is the place they're looking at going to, and so they want to drive people away from it, or, you know, they've some elaborate scams on one world, and then they're trying to attract people to another one. Let's try scanning this one, though, and it is also 4 when it comes to resources, so no thank you here either. Then we've got this planet over here, Volturno, which is apparently the place that the Elcor were saying they wanted to try to create a colony. A so-called super-Earth, Volturno is home to organic life, but it is nevertheless uninhabitable for the near future. Currently in an ice age, most of the planet, from the latitude of 30 degrees north or south, is a frozen wasteland, and so most organic life, limited to algae and lichens, resides near the equator. The strong gravity prevents any sapient species but Elcor from thriving on the planet, and the Elcor cannot breathe the planet's atmosphere, which contains lethal amounts of carbon dioxide in addition to its oxygen. Small packs of fortress squatters are attempting to take the planet for themselves illegally, but most of them live miserable existences in the planet's crushing gravity and die from falls and medical complications. Only terraforming from a massive scale, or on a massive scale, would turn Volturno into a habitable world, and the Elcor lack the political capital with the Citadel Council to begin such an effort. So let's see. So it's negative 10 degrees Celsius on the surface. I mean, it's cold. It's not ridiculously cold. Of course, don't really know where that measurement's being taken from. And they're saying 3.3 Gs, 3.3 times gravity on Earth, is crushing enough to prevent anyone but Elcor from being able to inhabit this place. And it doesn't sound crazy when you hear that, but imagine every single moment on this planet, you know, you have that additional force weighing you down, and it'd get tough. It'd get tough. Let's see. It has good resources, but that's actually surprisingly high up there for a good planet when it comes to iridium. That's not bad. That's like almost the point we were seeing for some of the rich worlds, but maybe we pass unless we happen to find, that might be the same source we were looking at before, but unless we happen to find element 0, which, given the description we had, I thought it was maybe a remote possibility, but I don't think we're going to find it here. Yeah, that's the one where you could make a case for it, but again, presumably, given how many rich worlds there are out there, we'd be able to find something better elsewhere. So might as well be picky. Then we have Vecchio. Vecchio is a moderately sized terrestrial world with a thin, hot atmosphere of carbon dioxide and nitrogen. Initial surveys found trace amounts of iridium, but little else of interest in the silica desert sands that cover much of the surface of the planet. We'll see if we actually find iridium when we try scanning this thing. On a recent tour, the Alliance surveyor ship Coupe discovered a group of partial graves hidden in the equatorial mountain ranges. The ancient skeletons in the burial sites are obviously humanoid, but incomplete and poorly preserved, which has made them difficult to identify. Fragments of primitive ceramic grave goods were also found nearby. This raises further questions about who once traveled to this inhospitable planet, since the closest garden world, Volturno, has no intelligent life. human universities are planning further archaeological investigations. Interesting. Very interesting. And this is a rich world. So this is the kind of place where we're going to want to pay closer attention. Like, interestingly enough, though, that is the same resource we were talking about on the previous planet, the one that had a good rating, and yet I don't think that's quite as high as what we're seeing there. So I imagine there's probably better sources than that elsewhere on the planet. If we are patient enough. Hold on. That's definitely not good enough to warrant launching a probe, I don't think. Okay, hold on. This may have some potential. I mean, still, it's wide, and so that means it probably has some platinum mixed in there, but it's still not that high compared to what we've seen in some of the scale-breaking rich worlds. And it's like roughly on par with what we were seeing on the other planet again. Like this looks a little bit better, maybe. Yeah, now, hold on, we saw it for a second there. It'd go a little bit higher up. That the peak we're seeing, that may be worth launching a probe. I still don't think it's quite. For a second, I thought we got it. Yeah, but there, that might warrant one.
Probe away.
So that's platinum. Still considered a rich world. Okay, is this good enough? Probably. I mean, again, it's not okay. That's pretty high, and then again, I think it has some platinum mixed in as well. Mostly concerned about the iridium because that's, of course, given the logarithmic scale, would be significantly more than whatever trace amounts of platinum we're gonna get. But we also gone to added another digit to our iridium stores. Now it is just listed as a good planet, and this is the supply of iridium we were looking at initially, I think. So I think that's a good place for us to end our search there. Then we have, lastly, this planet here, Lepini, a hydrogen-methane gas giant. Lepini and its moons have been cursorily scanned by space probes and found to have little in the way of rare resources. The galaxy at large considers it unremarkable. And perhaps not so surprising in that case that we see it has a poor rating. So, not gonna see much over here, so let's carry on. Now, just take a quick look since we did launch a few probes here. Is it worth picking up more? I mean, depending on how aggressive we're being with them, maybe, but if we're just heading over here for Firewalker, then perhaps not. Because I'm not necessarily sure that we're going to head over to do Zaid's loyalty mission right now. I think that is not so much the plan as much as it's just a random coincidence. Okay, so in that case, we're headed in this direction. Here we are. Let's see. How big is the list? I mean, it's big, but there aren't that many planets in it. So first we have this one out here. It is Melile? Melile? Melile is a common ammonia-methane ice giant with 23 moons. It has no particularly distinctive features. Okay. Moderate resources means probably not very interesting here unless we happen to see Element 0, although I don't think we had anything in the description to suggest that we would. So, yeah, again, we'll get the occasional spike here and there, but unless it's Element 0, I think we probably say no thank you. In which case, let's move inward. And next planet is this one with the rings. Looks huge. Asano. Asano is a standard hydrogen-helium gas giant. 200 years ago, an independent Volus prospector found the mangled wreck of a Prothean starship trapped within the trailing Lagrange point. Few artifacts from the wreckage have been recovered. Prospector, Lumend Kriop, was canny enough to keep the Hulk's existence to himself. He sold its location to a Turian paleotechnology firm for nearly 1 million credits. Since then, Asano's Lagrange points, rings, and moons have been combed over by fortune hunters seeking to strike it rich the same way. Thus far, no additional artifacts have been recovered. Okay, well, this also has poor resources here. So, that's interesting. The variety of things are getting there, but, again, the width of these, not that important. It is more so the height. And so, I mean, that's, like, still not horrendous, but... No, thank you. Next, we have Odast. Odast has an abundance of heavy metals and radioactives. It is heavily exploited by mining concerns based on Ilium. 43 years ago, a council specter arrived to investigate reports that the businesses were selling platinum, a strategic metal, to pirate groups in the Terminus systems. The results of her investigation were never released, but no deaths were reported. So there actually is a population here, 11,600 or so. And that's interesting. Yeah, the temperature, atmosphere, gravity is relatively Earth-like. And I was gonna say, people were saying that this place had some nice resources to it, and you know, you are not wrong. This is the type of situation we'd like to have ourselves in, where we're launching probes at this scale-breaking platinum here. Now if we go a little bit over to the side, platinum gets lower, iridium gets higher. But I think we want to... Ooh, that might still be worth trying to nab wherever the peak of that one was. Bearish, but I think... Hold on, let's find this peak once more. I think we want to prioritize just maximizing the platinum to the extent possible, and I think this is the spot to do that. Yeah, here.
Probe launched.
Okay, let's see if there are any other particularly significant spikes. On. It's good. Yeah, but maybe we can do better. That's good. Is that good enough? I suppose.
Probe launched.
Still considered rich. Does it go any higher? At that point, I don't think that's good enough. No. Oh, hold on. We onto something here? We onto something? It's good. Like, right around the threshold, I would say. And it does have seemingly at least a little bit of iridium as well, which is maybe a good enough tiebreaker, although, I don't know. About here? Don't think that's sufficient. And we've already scanned around here. So there's maybe like one more you could potentially justify. But I think we're good here. Even if it's technically still a rich planet, I think the spikes we have left are not spiky enough.
I have detected an anomaly.
Okay, so this is the planet that we are expecting to actually land on for our mission, but let's read about it a bit. Siona has a thin atmosphere of sulfur dioxide and trioxide, created by volcanic outgassing. There are traces of water vapor in the atmosphere, but over the last 5 centuries of observation, particle counts have decreased 4%. While not habitable by any spacefaring species, there is an abundance of native sulfur-devouring bacteria that thrives around the world's many volcanic vents. Interestingly, these bacteria bear genetic similarities to the native life of Ilium, suggesting either a panspermia, spread of microbes via asteroids, or accidental contamination of the original environment by careless spacefarers. So yeah, this actually does have life on it, and we're hearing a lot of mention of Ilium. Of course, we do have something over here to check out, but yeah, we're hearing a lot of mention about Ilium and Terminus systems. Terminus systems, for the most part, is sort of like that top right corner, top right, yeah, quarter of the galaxy, and maybe even a little bit further beyond that. We're just barely beyond the edge of that, I think, to a certain extent. I'm not sure if we technically are or are not in the term of systems here. But, okay, here's the anomaly.
Probe away. Something on our sensors.
Anomaly detected. Scans have located the Hammerhead exploration vehicle and also show active data storage sites that may contain information as to the whereabouts of Doctors Case and Aloy. Okay. So, we will be able to land here. That is true. But this is also a rich planet. So it may be worth launching a probe or two. Because this is the scale-breaking amounts of resources that we are ideally looking for.
Launching probe.
Because that is on the order of 2,200. So can we get more like that? That would be great. Second there looked like this might have wanted to go up to that same level, but perhaps not. Let's see. A bit of iridium? No. Maybe not. I was gonna say there's definitely still something hiding over here. Somewhere. I don't think that was quite high enough though to be worth going for, but this is. Let's see. That looks pretty good to me.
Probe launched.
Okay. If that was just a tiny bit higher, then that could be amazing. Getting those are two good sources of iridium and platinum. But if they were just a tiny bit higher, you could say really good sources of both. I mean, that may still be worth it. Hold on. Like right about there-ish. Might even have a little bit of palladium in there as well. Alright, sure.
Launching probe.
No, it didn't. Just iridium and platinum, but okay. I'm gonna say it's still listed as rich, and this may be why. This is not a bad source of platinum. Probably not quite as good as what we were seeing before with some of the other resources, but that may still be worth launching a probe here, and
probe launched.
Still pretty rich after this? It is not. Okay, so that's probably the last one we're gonna launch a probe at here. So, that's good. We will, of course, end up landing on that planet, but first, before we do so, let's at least check out this last planet here, which is Celias, which is spelled differently in the title and in the description. Celias' cratered surface is ancient. Parts of the highlands have been unchanged for nearly 3 billion years. The layers of overlapping craters stand as testament to the violence of the system's creation. Celias is tidally locked to Elista and has a trace atmosphere of krypton and xenon, with helium occasionally blowing in via solar winds. See, this is also rich. And which resources we're talking about here? It looked for a second like palladium might have been good there, but hold on. Iridium may be the answer. Iridium is, at least at the moment, the resource we have the most of right now. But let's grab some here.
Probe away.
Signs of other big spikes. Ooh, I'm getting somewhere here. Maybe. Yes. Again, it's iridium.
Probe away.
And again, it's iridium. This one seemingly not as high as what we were just looking at. That's probably something we'll leave. That one, though, is higher. I mean, it's still... okay, no, at that point, it's definitely worth getting. I was gonna say, maybe borderline, but that's definitely good enough. We have loaded up big time on the iridium. Now it's downgraded to good. Now we probably draw the line there. A little platinum spike, but I don't think that's good. I mean, it's decent at its best spot. But I think, again, let's act on the assumption that other rich worlds that have dedicated platinum sources may be better still.